G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wildkard. Thank you for watching the Wildkard Rugby Show. Like, comment and subscribe. And yes, you are here today because the Six Nations is over and we are counting down towards the Lions tour. Yes. I've got the Lions selection here in front of me, my Lions selection in front of me, and I can't believe I'm going to reveal to you the best combinations to beat the Wallabies. But hey, I doubt Andy Farrell will watch this video, so I think I am okay of revealing some of the weaknesses that the Lions could be exploiting against the Wallabies. But first up, let's have a look at the Six Nations results. France finished number 1, 21 points. England number 2. Ireland surprisingly finished number 3. Really inconsistent this season. I think that, you know, like I've talked about this in the first game, that Ireland's, you know, switching, not just, I have nothing against Prendergast, by the way. Ireland's, you know, the way Ireland has been chop and changing the 10 over the last 4 years has really left them with a lack of consistency there at 10. And I do think that, you know, some of the results that are shown by the Ireland team, like letting the England team scoring 2 tries right at the end of the game to give them a bonus point, and then, you know, the game of the weekend against Italy, full strength Ireland team struggled to beat Italy, albeit really good performance from Italy. It shows that the Ireland team is struggling with, in my opinion, consistency and captaincy with the experience on the field. Without that Johnny Sexton experience and, you know, and captaincy on the field, the Irish team just really don't have anybody to look up to when crunch time comes along. Kalen Doris talked about this as well. You know, the reason that there's a lot of sloppiness is because the pressure that's been put on their players, and they're forcing things a little bit to try to get themselves through, and that is the problem with having a lack of experience out there on the field. And, you know, I talk about this as well in my previous videos, that the number of test caps that's been spread across so many super talented fly halves over the last 4 and 5 years, 4 or 5 years. You know, players like, you know, Crowley, Frowley, Rossburn, you know, there was Billy Burns. There were so many people over the years, and all of these guys have like 20, 30 caps amongst them. And if you combine all of these caps together onto one player, you probably have someone that's close to 100 test caps right now, someone you can rely on with the experience at a 10 jersey, and they still don't have that because they're chop and changing with their player selections at 10. And I think that, yeah, this is something that a lot of you guys disagree with me, and I think the results in the Six Nations kind of starting sending at least some warning bells, maybe start going off in the Irish coaching camp as a result of that. And Scotland, number 4, every year they have so much talent, fail to deliver as well. I think there's a lack of leadership in the Scotland team that brings consistency from among the players. Italy coming number 5, and Wales number 6. Now, speaking of consistency and leadership, I have to make it very clear that Kalen Doris did not play for some of the games in the Six Nations, so it's not 100% his problem in terms of, you know, I think the lack of leadership in the Ireland team. You know, when Johnny Sexton's on the field, he's somebody people can look up to, and he's somebody that always brings like calm and you know, and a sense of direction to the players. And I just don't think that in the current setup of the Ireland team, I don't think anybody is stepping up to the plate. And as a result, for the Lions tour selection, for me, I've actually got Maori Toji as my Lions captain for my selection. So let's have a look at my Lions selections. So initially, I had Kalen Doris as my Lions captain. I think that Doris is that physicality, that meanness that he brings is the attitude that you need for the Lions tour. But Maori Toji, he's lifted England from losing to Ireland in a bit of an embarrassing game to end up ahead of Ireland with consistency building every game towards the end of the season. I think that has earned Maori Toji, in my opinion, the Lions tour captain for this year. And Kalen Doris, unfortunately, due to him not available as well to some of the games, has dropped to the vice captain for me. So this is my Lions tour selection. I think that I think this will be the best team if I was the coaching team, best setup to beat the Wallabies. And yeah, so coming number 1 for me, Andrew Porter, by far the best loose air prop in the world. I think right now, absolute Ironman performance for Ireland. Every game, he's just super fierce, super strong, absolute dominant everywhere around the breakdown, and makes the mistakes that he makes very few these days, unlike he was in previous seasons. Coming number 2 for me as well, Dan Sheehan. He's worked really well with Andrew Porter in the scrummaging. His lineup has been pretty good, and just overall a good ball runner as well. Out of the probably the best ball runner in the Six Nations from the front row perspective. Only one probably close is Cowan Dickey, and I've got Cowan Dickey on the bench. Coming number 3, I think I was thinking about Ty Furlong number 3, but he hasn't played this season, and I think that I just don't know what kind of form he's going to be in going to Lions, so I'm sure he'll be fine. But for me, I would like to pick players that are, that have proven to me that it's not, proven to me that has worked in recent weeks, and that is going to be Xander Fagerson from Scotland for me, coming in at number 3 jersey for the starting Lions team. Coming in at number 4 for me is another Irish player, and that's Ty Byrne. He's been outstanding, physical, really good defense around the rocks, and just physicality and size. Something that I think the Lions tour would really need that to beat the. I think that's probably one of the advantages the Lions will have over the Wallabies. I do think the Australian players is a little bit on the light side, and I think that the Lions can really abuse the size advantage there over some of the smaller Wallaby players. Coming number 5, Ty Byrne, outstanding selection for me there. Coming number 6 for me, number 4, Ty Byrne. Number 5 is the captain himself, Mauro Itoje from England. Again, really, really good at the lineouts. Disruptions are really good. And then overall, I think his captaincy has led England to a really good result this year for Six Nations. And I think that he'll be great coming in at number 4 for the Lions tour. And also, he's also another guy really good around the rocks defensively as well. Really good disruption of the breakdowns. And he's improved a lot on some of those silly penalties that he gives around the rocks. And he's just, really, really, really building towards something quite special for England there. Coming in number 7, I've got a bit of a wild selection here. I've actually got Tom Curry. Sorry, number 6. I've actually got Tom Curry at number 6. I just think that Tom Curry is really big already, 110 kilos. The Springboks, and nowadays a lot of teams like to have a second lock there. I just don't think they need that second lock. I think they need more speed on the field. I think Tom Curry as a second open side flanker in the blind side is really, really, really good selection, and he's worked really well for England, and I think this will work really well for the Lions tour as well, because the Wallabies likes to have a slower lock in number 6 jersey, and England having a faster flanker at 6 will give him an edge there at the breakdowns for the England team. I think Tom Curry is the perfect selection here to potentially exploit a bit of a weakness for the Wallabies in the 6 jersey. Number 7 here for me is going to be actually Ben Earl. I think Ben Earl has been outstanding for England defensively. The rush defense has been great, and he's dynamic, he's fast, good ball handling, and I think that he'll be not having him. I think that having him an open side flanker is just what you want for open side flanker there. I think he's just really good at breakdown as well. I don't know what else to say. He's just outstanding. I think for me, he's pretty much a hands down 7 for Lions tour. Number 8, I've got the vice captain, Caelan Doris. Size, just mean streak, everything you need, and I think that he can assist Mauro Itoje a little bit as well when it comes to some of the decision making. And the Lions captain, just having 2 strong-minded and strong bodies on the field as a captain is really, really good. And again, size as well for me, really important for this selection for me. In the back line now, coming at number 9, I've got Alex Mitchell from England. Alex Mitchell has been done. I think he's transitioned quite well into the strategy that, the strategy that Borthwick like to play. In the club rugby, he plays more of an attacking style out of 9, and I think he can bring that to the Lions tour. And the fact that he can adapt to different styles is what really important here, because he has that versatility. His kicking game has been pretty good, and also the way that he kind of guided Finn Smith around the England setup, I thought was outstanding. And I think you need a leadership like that for number 9. I did think about having Jameson Gibson-Park at number 9. I do think that Jameson Gibson-Park almost a playmaker for Ireland, and I think that's going to conflict with the game plan that Andy Farrell will want to play. I just think Alex Mitchell, the fact that he's not, he has, he's also a playmaker and he can also do all that stuff that Gibson Parks brings, but he doesn't do that. The fact that he can bring dials that back because his team required him to do so, I think that is a more important character that I'm looking for out of the 9 jersey, because I've actually got Marcus Smith at number 10, and I do think that having Alex Mitchell as a guidance at 9 and Marcus Smith, the reason having number 10 is because he's the only one for me that has that X factor and has the will and the determination and not crack under pressure to bring something special when the team is needed, to break out a stalemate. Like he showed against the Wallabies for England in the November Test Series, again and again, he looked like England had lost the match, and he just pulls out a grabber kick, a perfectly timed grabber kick, and immediately turns things around. And I think you need someone that can do that for the Lions tour to break out a stalemate. And also his goal kicking is really, really good. And I think that Prendergast goal kicking is better, but again, he doesn't have the ability to lift the team under pressure, whereas Marcus Smith has demonstrated to me who has the ability to lift to another level under pressure. So Marcus Smith gets not there for me for that as well. And also, the reason I don't have Finn Russell at 10 as well, he just hasn't been performing, unfortunately. Again, the pressure seems to not able to handle him well. Missing 3 conversions against England is probably enough for anybody to think twice about having him as a starting 10 and goal kicker for the Lions tour, because there's going to be more pressure at the Lions tour. So I think Marcus Smith will be the perfect selection here for the 10. Coming number 11, another thing that I think another place I think the Lions could abuse the size a little bit. I've got Duhan van der Merwe from Scotland. Again, size, something that I think the Wallabies are lacking a little bit, especially in the back line. Having Duhan van der Merwe with the speed and size, 2 things that you can't coach at number 11 is absolutely a huge advantage for the Wallabies, especially the Wallabies outside of Jorgensen. I can't really pick up someone to go in the wing. I don't think we have any winger that's close to the size of Van der Merwe. And I do think that outside of Jorgensen, our wingers are a little bit slow as well. So I think Van der Merwe has a big advantage here. It's almost a no-brainer selecting him here at number 11. At number 12, the center combination and the Irish center combination. Obviously, the Irish center combination has been absolutely outstanding. I do, however, have Gary Ringrose at number 12 and Robbie Henshaw at number 13. The reason I have Ringrose at number 12 is because I have a 6'2" set up on the bench, and Bundy Aki don't have the stamina to go full 80 minutes, and I don't want to put another center on the bench. So I have Bundy Aki dropped out, and I've got Ringrose here at 12 and 13 with Henshaw. Just absolutely outstanding players. Breakdowns, carry the ball defensively, they're all just super, super good. I think probably move Henshaw to 12 and have Ringrose at 13 as my setup. Coming in number 14, I've actually got the only Welsh player that's been selected, and that is Blair Murray. I've got Blair Murray. Like I said, you can't coach size and you can't coach speed, and Blair Murray has that speed factor that I think you're looking for. Blair Murray almost reminds me of someone like Cheslin Kobe or Curdy Alensa. If you give him a bit of a space, no matter where he is, you kick the ball to a wrong spot, he's gonna cover you, he's gonna run you through, carve you open, and score the try create opportunity to score try from anywhere on the field. He's that agile and that good. I think he deserves a spot at the number 14 jersey for the Lions. So because you want, and he can also sweep back as a fullback as well, and you want people that can break the game open in the Lions game. It's gonna be like a trench warfare out there, and you want somebody out there that can just, at a snap of finger, create something out of nothing. And I think Blair Murray is the only one that can do that out of pretty much anyone, and it's best at doing that. He's, despite playing for the worst team in the competition, he was able to carve up opportunity. Just shows you how good he is. So he gets the number 14 jersey for me. And finally, number 15, the best fullback in Europe right now, Blair Kinghorn, the giraffe. Again, size and height and speed, and great playmaker. He can play the kicking game. He can play the support running game. He is just outstanding. Blair Kinghorn, he is my selection, hands down, at number 15. Coming at the reserves now, I've got English front row, starting front row as the reserve front row. I've got Cowan Dickey at number 16. I've got Ellis Genji number 17 and Will Stewart number 18. All three players could be starting. I think they're really, really outstanding scrummagers. And just, yeah, Cowan Dickey, good lineouts as well. I think they're just the best option, pretty much. And for the bench, like I already mentioned, I've got 6 forwards on the bench. Again, size. I've decided that to be the advantage going for the Lions swap. I've got James Ryan number 19 as an extra lock support. I've got Jack Conan, just size and ball carry coming off the bench. And I've got Jamie Ritchie from Scotland as an additional, versatility between a lock and then a blindside flanker, size and breakdown pressure from Jamie Ritchie there from Scotland. And finally, the 2 backs reserve. Number 1, I've got Ben White from Scotland as the reserve number 9. For me, I think Ben White has been just ticks all the boxes for Scotland, and it's probably just to me. James Gibson Park could be here as well, but I just have Ben White ahead of Gibson Park. Maybe I think I think probably could put Gibson Park here actually. Yeah, no, I changed my mind. I'm gonna put Jameson Gibson Park here on the bench for the number 9, and then for the final fullback, final cover for the Lions sword, the number 23 jersey is Jack Crowley. The reason I have Crowley here, obviously, the goal kicking. If Mark Smith gets injured, you need someone that can kick goals. Crowley has been coming on to cover centre, fullback for Ireland. He has the versatility to do that. And also, the reason I have Crowley on the bench is the fact that, the goal kicking is really important. He can cover all the positions. And, if I have, Sam Prendergast, for instance, at a fullback in this jersey, I'm going to have to put in someone else to cover the fullback position. So just the versatility Crowley brings is a little bit better. And again, goal kicking, crucial to need to come off the bench. Shoot, your starting goal kicker is having a bad day. You need somebody to come off. And I think Crowley's goal kicking has been quite decent over the years to fill that role. So that's my selection for the Lions Tour 23 starting team. Let me know your thoughts and let me know if you disagree with it or not. Speaking of Lions Tour, of course, Rugby Australia has to bring disgrace to the competition that we all love. So they have gone ahead. Obviously, there was a contract to play a game for the Rebels, and the Rebels, Melbourne Rebels, have gone under, so they're going to have to fill that game with somebody. And they've decided to go back to apartheid, right? To bring in a team that is First Nations and Moana Pacifica team selection. And it's disgraceful. And like this literally just came out, and people in the comments already pointing out that it's just disgraceful. I don't know how this is allowed, and I've been talking about this for years. This has nothing to do with Trump. I've been talking about this for years. I thought the Maori All Blacks should not be done with race history for selection. You just be like an iconic representation of the country and of the tradition, not actually have selection based on your race. And I think that was pretty disgraceful. And now Rugby Australia decides to do this. And what's interesting for me is that we had like a vote in Australia for having a permanent position in the parliament for an Aboriginal elder, and that was voted down against by like vast majority of Australia, right? Everybody hates this shit in Australia, and as an organization, the Rugby Australia thinks that this is the way to go, right? To go, literally, we have evidence that the whole country hates this sort of stuff, and Rugby Australia decides this is the way to go about it for the Lions Tour. It's quite disgraceful. Then you wonder why rugby is struggling to reach outside of the rich suburbs where private school kids go to. Outside of this areas is struggling to find connections amongst 90% of the country. This is why, because they're so tone deaf on these sort of things, right? It is quite racist in my opinion. All you have to do is ask, why is the apartheid in South Africa not allowed? Just swap this out for Anyway, I don't want to go any more about it. It's disgraceful. But let me know your thoughts. It's pretty bad. Anyway, moving on. Speaking of South Africa, Rassie Erasmus actually explained why Willie Roux' involvement last year was quite limited. He's really close to the 100 test cap. I think this is actually exactly the opposite, right? You are making selections based on who's the best for the specific game, not based on like fictional ideologies, right? So he basically said, we want Willie Roux to play his 100 test match in the starting position, and he just hasn't, the fact that Rassie has been doing so well, they just don't have an opportunity for him to start for his 100 tests. Still like a couple tests away, but it is like, this is how you should select people, not because, based on loyalty, based on the color of your skin, based on merit, okay? That's how you should be. And Rugby Australia still don't understand, and I'm surprised. It's disgraceful. It is actually disgraceful. Anyway, moving on. Gregor Townsend talks about, has come out pretty firm that he won't be stepping down as the coach of Scotland. I don't know what he can do to fix the Scotland problem. They have the talent to deliver outstanding results, but they just don't have the consistency, and sometimes I think they just don't have the grit to push through every week. They will come out one week and be outstanding, and next week they just like, we've done really good last week, let's take a break. And I don't know how you're going to break out of that mentality for the Scotland team. And Gregor Townsend has basically said he's not going to step him down. But on the other side, Matt Sherrod is pretty humbled on the weekend by England. Has come up basically said that he doesn't want the job. He thinks someone else more experienced should be taking the job, and he's not qualified. So Matt Sherrod has just, pretty low key on his own abilities and wants to step away. So there is a deal that has been signed in Britain that the Six Nations will be free to air on ITV and BBC till at least 2029. There was some talks for a while ago now that they're going to move to like pay TV, and they should come out and they should make a law that Six Nations just becomes like permanently free to air. But hey, I'm pretty sure you need a TV license to watch this for free, right? So it's not actually free. You're still paying a TV license to watch TV in Britain. I don't know how that's a thing. I've never been to a country that has that. So so it's not actually free technically, but it's free for people that don't pay for the license, I guess. Next up, England. There's some talks. Obviously, there was some talks about so so England's having some financial issues. One of the things that England wants to do is to make more money outside of rugby. So they have renamed Twickenham Stadium to Allianz Stadium, which is the same name as the Wildkard Stadium here, Allianz Stadium, to just try to get some more revenue in for England rugby. And one of the things that England rugby wants to do is get Twickenham out to rent it out to host other events outside of rugby, like concerts and all that sort of stuff. But the local council is not allowing Twickenham to be hosting too many events, essentially. So they don't allow. So basically, there was like a Beyonce concert that was not allowed to perform because they don't allow the concert to perform over more than 2 nights. So the concert wanted to be 3 nights. They don't allow to be more than 2 nights. And then currently there's a limit on how many concerts are allowed to be hosted there because of the council. So England Rugby is not happy about that. They're also talking about spending money to renovate Twickenham as well. So they're just like, well, if you're not gonna let us maximizing profit on this stadium, why should we invest money to renovate the stadium when we can't even get our money back in a reasonable manner? So Twickenham has been the home of England Rugby since 1909, over 100 years, and there's some talks that they're going to be moving it away. So this is going to be $600 million renovating it. Why would you bother if you can't even let us make money other than making money in a more efficient manner, essentially, right? So yeah, they wanted to move to some other places. I'm not familiar with the other places. Some of you guys can tell me, but they're considering moving to Milton Keynes, Birmingham or Birmingham. So there's two other stadiums they're looking at moving to But yeah, generally they wanted to be able to stage more concerts and make some more coin for England rugby there. Next up, we've got Peato Mauvaka, has been cited for the headbutt on the weekend, and is probably going to be out right now on his decision. Let's quickly have a quick look, because the decision might be out right now. So let's have a see. They're literally having the court meeting right now, so probably going to be a bit later before we get the full report. But I would not be surprised if he gets a suspension. So anyway, this is Super Rugby this weekend. This is a draw. Moana Pacifica, Chiefs Friday. We've got 3 games on Saturday. That's Highlanders versus Reds, Blues versus Crusaders, Waratahs and Brumbies Saturday night, and then Sunday afternoon we've got Fijian and Drua versus the Western Force in Perth. And yeah, there was some more. Scott Robinson has also on a bit of an interview in the week talking about the 10 issue and New Zealand rugby. Obviously, Damien McKenzie was saw on the weekend, couldn't quite kick 50 meters anymore due to his leg injury. So maybe they have to look at Bowden's injured as well with hands injury. So they were, again, Richie Mwanga definitely don't want to come back. He wants to go to play for potentially Tonga or Samoa. So running out of 10s, I guess James O'Connor is moving one step closer to the All Blacks starting fly half jersey. And next up, yeah, Joseph Swali'i still injured for this weekend, not able to play against the Brumbies. He will be available to play against the Hurricanes in Wellington, and this will be an interesting experience for him to play against the New Zealand team in New Zealand. So the Wallabies head coach selection continues with Les Kiss currently on the second stage of the selection process. So he is most likely going to be the next coach, but his second stage still talking about it. With the Waratahs coach seemingly out of the picture. What's his name? Dan McCullough. Fraser McGrath signs another deal with the Reds till 2028, till after the World Cup, which is really, really good. And then we've got Asafa Aumua pinning a new contract till the Rugby World Cup 2027 for the All Blacks. And that's the news for this week. Let me know your thoughts about my Lions team selection, and let me know your thoughts about selecting a team based on race. I actually can't believe that's a thing in 2025, but hey, pretty sure apartheid ended more than almost 30 years ago, right? But hey, it is what it is. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts. I'll see you guys this weekend for Super Rugby reviews. Cheers.